Welcome to Finding Answers. If you're asking questions, we have a series of videos, blog posts and articles for you to access to find answers to the questions that you're asking. Hi Lydia, welcome to Finding Answers. Today we're looking at the topic of hope, and we're particularly thinking about what that means for us in a time when we are facing a worldwide health crisis. Every UK household got a letter from Boris Johnson at the beginning of the coronavirus crisis. And in it, he said, "It's important for me to level with you. We know that things will get worse before they get better." Lydia, why don't you tell us just who you are and share what do you think some of the things are that people are hoping for when life does get better?
So I'm Lydia. I'm part of Christ Central Church. I think there are a lot of things people are hoping for. I know some people have written lists about things like, oh, I can finally do this once lockdown's over. And a lot of it is like seeing family, going on holiday, being able to be out without a kind of restriction on time. Maybe it's going back to work, seeing friends, like doing all the things we're not able to do, go to McDonald's, like whatever it is that people want to do. There's a kind of like freedom that we have about kind of thinking about the end of lockdown, and a lot of it I think is seeing friends and family.
Yeah, I think that's really important. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to even just the little things. And so I know McDonald's are opening quite a few of their stores. Chelmsford are lucky, they've got 3 that are opening up.
Well, I'm from Rutland and we have only just got our first McDonald's, so
there we go. There's a lot of hope placed on what happens when this crisis ends. What do you think the reality might be when we actually come to the end of this and we go back to normal?
Yeah, I think we can spend a lot of time imagining what it could be like or what we'd want it to be like, but I think the reality won't be quite so perfect as we want to. Like if we're meeting up with family, you know, there have been a lot of people who've died from coronavirus, so family reunions, maybe not everybody's there. Or going back to work, a lot of, obviously with financial difficulties, maybe not everyone's able to go back to work, or employers can't keep hiring everyone. I think, you know, it won't be quite the freedom that we think. I think we've kind of depicted this perfect, like, oh, life will be perfect, all these amazing reunions, can't wait for work, can't wait for this. But I think, you know, there's still going to be struggles. People will struggle for jobs, you know, financial difficulties.
Yeah, and I think that has a huge implication for what we think about in terms of hope. The line in Boris's letter was really about a kind of a short-term hope, what we are expecting next. A friend of mine shared an article from The Independent that I found really interesting. The guy writing it was explaining what it was like when his dad died in 2017, and it was tragic, and he said he was just faced with so many questions about life and what really matters, but he felt like he was going it alone because all of his friends, their life was just carrying on as normal. But now he was saying we're in this together. Yes, there are some people who are struggling worse than others in this virus. Some have really experienced loss. But at the same time, everybody is slowing down. And we can only be distracted by Netflix for so long. But all of us are facing the question, is this it? What do you think the problems might be if this is it and all of our hope is built on this life getting better?
I think even if this life, even if, you know, after lockdown it did go back to, you know, that perfect view that we might think, you know, seeing friends, going back to work, all of those kind of hopes that we do have, I think even if all of them were to go back to complete normal, even though I don't think it will, but if it were to, I think there would still be a lot of disappointment. You know, you might go back to work, but there's still going to be the whole, you know, office politics or like promotions or disappointment or being made redundant. You know, even in families, there's still arguments, there's still tensions, whatever it may be. Or maybe it's like hope in, you know, a career that, you know, isn't going to happen, or maybe, I don't know, even if you've worked really hard for, I don't know, image wise, like if you're someone who watches what you eat and is exercising the whole time, like the hope of this perfect image, it may be immediate, but then you have to keep it up. It's not quite the same, you know, our bodies age. I think there's a reality that doesn't quite meet what we want it to meet. So I think even with all these things that we think would be perfect, eventually they do start to either deteriorate, or it's a lot more effort than we think it will be. And I suppose if this life is it, we're all striving to make our, however long we live, 70 years on Earth, like the best it can be. And what happens if you don't like your life here? Is that just it? You know, is that a depressing thought? Is that a very, yeah, I think it's very hard to think this life is it, because if you're lumped with, you know, a bad lot, that's not great. And even if you do have good things, they're not going to last forever. I don't know what you think, or whether, I don't know how different religions view this. I don't know if you've got any thoughts about that.
Yeah, I think our secular age is unique in that it's, in all of world history, places ultimate meaning and security in this life. And I think that's unique because every other culture has always had something that suffering can't touch, that life is built around. Whereas, Ricky Gervais once tweeted a while ago now, we've had billions of years of non-existence, one short life, and then billions of years of non-existence. Enjoy life while it lasts. But I think that highlights the problem that you just said of what if life isn't enjoyable now? But other cultures and other religions have had ideas of this life is almost like a test, and we will go somewhere else where there will be no suffering. And so this is just temporary, and then we escape it. Others have an idea of we do life over and over again, and our quality of life depends on the life we've lived, or and then maybe there's a way to step off that cycle into a sense of oneness with everything that exists. And I guess that those are some of the typical ways that people around the world think of hope and hope in. What do you think are some of the things, when you've been talking to people, that Christianity offers a unique hope for, in what we can place in Jesus and who he is and what he said?
I think I've found, I think like you're saying, touching on other religions, like friends who, just when I've spoken to some of my particular friends, like they said for them it's about doing good and being good enough for God. And I feel like my hope is in Jesus, and that is secure, it is complete, and it will not change. It is like a mountain that cannot be like moved. I think if I didn't have my hope in Jesus, my life would look very different, because it would be striving to be good enough. You know, if it was like, if you just take religion out of the picture, your like hope is in this world, it's, have I made enough of it? Like, am I a good enough person? Like, have I made an impact? There's a lot of like pressure all on me, and as we know, humans are imperfect, so we're never going to achieve this perfection that we might want to achieve. Or even if it's, you know, the perfect job, when you've got that perfect job, you've got to stay in it. There's like, you've got to maintain perfection even if you do achieve it in some small way. But I think with Jesus it is different, because when Jesus died on the cross, he took all my sins and he has wiped them completely clean. It's not a kind of, my hope in Jesus isn't kind of a vain hope, like hopefully it will happen. It is a complete and sure hope. So I know that because Jesus died to take away my sins, that barrier between me and God has completely broken down, and I have a relationship with the creator of the universe. That is something so secure. And my hope is that, kind of a secure hope, that he will make a new creation, that this world isn't it, that after we die there will be like a perfect creation, one that, you know, with some things we still enjoy in this world there will be, but it will be a complete fulfillment of what this earth should have been. And knowing that that is where my hope is brings meaning, brings purpose, and I suppose brings a lot more perspective to worldly achievements and worldly goals, which I know I do chase after and they never fulfill. So my hope in Jesus is actually one that is secure and that it does satisfy. I think a lot of other hopes don't satisfy because they don't come to fruition, whereas this is one that is secure.
Yeah, and I think that speaks so powerfully personally, but also globally to the things that we want. It means that we can step off the treadmill of having to keep running, to keep going, or otherwise we fall off. That we've got to make the most of our lives. But as you said, it's the hope that Jesus gives is free and secure, and it's a gift that we don't earn. But also there is a sense of no other view of the world presents us with a picture of this world being made perfect in a way that's not dependent on how good we are or what efforts we put in, but is a promise. There are many kind of political philosophies that say the world will be better if only people woke up to whatever. But Jesus is saying, I love this story when he's at the house of Mary and Martha. His friend Lazarus has just died. They are his sisters. And Martha says, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died. And Jesus says he will rise again. And she says, well, I know that on the last day he will rise. And she living in that context, in that Jewish world, she would have known the promises of God making this earth right again. And then Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if they die, they will live. And so Jesus then goes on and in other teachings paints this picture of the world that we love without all the things that ruin it and pollute it. And actually if we're honest, we ruin and pollute this world. But that's what the Bible uses the word sin as, that we've polluted this creation. And as you said, that's why Jesus died, to wipe away that we've done, so that this can be offered to us for free. I think it shows us a picture of not a universe that's unhinged from a creator, but one that is carried by a creator who loves what he has made. And so rather than billions of years of non-existence, billions of years later, one life, enjoy it while it lasts, it's forever in the life that was always made to be with the God who loves us, which means that we don't need to put all of our hope here and now. We're doing these conversations just to help people think more about the answers that they're looking for, and asking those big questions. We've put out 2 already on Facebook and Instagram and on our website. But Lydia, if someone wants to find out more about our church, where could they go?
Yeah, as you just mentioned, we're on Facebook, we're on social media, Instagram. So we're on social media. We've also got a YouTube channel. If you go to youtube.com/Christ Central Church, and our channel has various videos, daily encouragements, as well as our Sunday morning services, which are streamed at 10:30 on a Sunday morning. We also have a website if you wanted to find out a bit more about who we are, or you wanted to get in touch with us. And we have a COVID-19 page on our website. Our website is christcentral.church.
Yeah, so on that COVID-19 page, there's stuff about you want to find out how you can be supported practically. We have some information there. Lydia, thanks so much for joining. It was great to chat. And we'll see you for the next Finding Answers.
Great. Thanks, Michael.
Bye. If you're asking questions, we'd love to help you begin finding answers. You can find out more on our social media or on our website. and join us for church on Sunday at christcentralchurch.online.